Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Well, hello, everybody. It's time for Mickey in the Middle. Get up the kids. Wake up the spouses. Wake up the dog, the cat, the hamster even. Let's get ready for this thing. Let's go. That's right, very shortly, Mickey in the Middle. Very shortly, Mickey in the Middle. Make sure you're the first one to check in. Don Ledger, gold medal. He's got a run going this week. Darla Stewart with a silver. She is right there every single night. Holy smokes. Darla, I hope when you fell down that you knew that I was with you. I don't know whether you fell down or not. I was just assuming from your post. So, congratulations. Keep it up. Hey, do me a favor, everybody. Check in as soon as you get here. Tonight, we're going to be talking about military loyalty to the civilian overlords. Oh, boy, is this a tough one. My research has indicated that we have a great military. Greg Meyer coming in third place. That's awesome. I hope you and Chef Maddie are doing all right tonight. You guys are some of my faves. Telling you, you got a great thing going right there, buddy. You got a great thing going there. All right, so let's go and do this. All right, here we go. Right after this verse by the infamous Matthew T. Ollie, we're gonna get on this. Man, I hope I have my stuff together. I hope I have my stuff together. All right. This is the best way I can do this. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get rid of the music. Let's go and do this. I didn't even have an introduction video. Hold on. Let me do that real quick. There you go. There's a little bit of it. Yeah, Mickey in the Middle. I was like, where's the button? Where's the button? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the big show. My name is Mickey, and this is Mickey in the Middle. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central, right here wherever I am and right here wherever you are. This is the quintessential show for Middle Americans, and where Middle Americans have a place to go, and we can talk about the day's events and how those events affect Middle Americans. Now, I am nobody special. I'm just a Middle American. I'm going to say that every single time. However, I do have a unique skill set. I do. I'm still trying to figure out what that skill set is. But, you know, I'm getting there. I'm only 58. I mean, I've got another 8 or 9 years to go before I really have to figure things out and make something of myself. However, this year, I have decided that we're going to have a nationwide picnic. It's called the Great American Picnic. It's going to be in any single free park where you can have a picnic. Pack up a picnic basket and put in a little bit extra on the 4th of July at noon. Go to your local park, or go to a city park, or go to a state park, wherever you can go and have a picnic with 320 million other people that live in the United States of America. Accept everybody the way that they are, because that's the way that I believe America rolls. I believe that we are loving, caring, accepting, diverse. It's a great, big, huge tossed salad, and at the same time a melting pot. It's how things can be two things at one time. And so we're going to do that on 4th of July. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw everybody in Congress out. So although I don't have any unique skill sets, I do have an ability to try. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to try. So hello, Logan Calcaterra. How you go? Don Ledger says, yes, I have a streak going. Yes, he does. That's a couple days in a row that he has got the gold medal. So Greg Myers, Mark Calcaterra, Chris Cap, there you go. Yes, we have a great military. I'm going to be talking to that military. I'm going to be talking about that military tonight, because there are some very, very important aspects that, number one, civilians don't know. And guess who our politicians are? Politicians are civilians. How about that? And then you were live. I know I was live. I'm glad I don't. So I do that all the time because my production skills just totally suck. So I'm just glad that I didn't have to, stand up and scratch myself anywhere that was in. So what do I think about the impeachment trial? I haven't watched it. It's like I already read the end of the book. So I've already read the end of the book. I think we just did this about a year ago. I know how this is going to end up. I don't need to say, but this is kind of like Chucky, right? You know what happens at the end of the Chucky movies. I'm just saying. I know how this is going to end up. It's going to be a whole bunch of boring speeches about how bad Donald Trump was and how close the United States of America came to be overturned. I'm going to tell you right now, for insurrectionists, they did the worst job ever. They should have brought more guns and more ammos and more bombs, and they should have, there should have been a whole mess up there. There should have been a lot more bloodshed than there was, and any loss of life, and I'm not making fun of that. Any loss of life is absolutely tragic. But that was more of a riot and more of people just trying to have their voices heard than anything else. And so I know how this is going to turn out. I don't even know. Maybe I'll watch it later tonight. I mean, I've got 3 or 4 hours to kill when I'm absolutely doing nothing. You are very unique. I am unique, Don. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Kabuki Theater. That's right. Put on the mask, put on the outfits, and we got it. All right. So here we go. All right. So today, Mickey in the Middle is talking about military loyalty and about the loyalty that the troops had to prove when they went to the Capitol right after January 6th, after the whatever the heck you want to refer to it as, at the Capitol building, where Trump had a rally. He had an incredibly long and boring speech, except for the 250,000 people that were in the crowd, between 200,000, 250,000 people. Then, either before the end of the speech or after the end of the speech, people went to the Capitol building. They got all riled up. Somebody said, hey, let's go stand on the porch or something. They pushed through the lines, making the security forces of the Capitol building retreat inside of the building. And they basically gave up the outside of the building. So 1,000 people, I don't know how many people, but it had to be more than 1,000. I mean, I'm not going to count them all. They went up on the porches and they occupied the grounds all the way around the Capitol building. Scary in itself, but I think the vast majority of people were just there going, hey, we're having our voices heard. We're having our voices heard. And then some dumb shits, some dumbass people decided to start breaking windows, and all of those son of a bitches and all those other people need to go to jail. You don't be busting up the Capitol building. No, if you push through that line, if you injured an officer, if you busted down a window, that's criminal conduct, criminal behavior. If you threatened anybody, if you literally swung one time at somebody, if you threatened physical violence, you got to do that. Then they went inside. Everybody got pictures. A dude with a bunch of tattoos and some war paint and a moose hat went into the Capitol. Somebody kicked their feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk. Somebody sat in the speakers in the Senate chamber, wherever they do their thing, and then somebody got shot. And then everybody kind of left. And they cleared out the building. That's kind of like where we are. Then several days later, they called in the National Guard, and the Guard showed up, and then they put thousands of troops in Washington, D.C. for the inauguration, January 20th. Some of those troops still remain, and they built a fence around the entire Capitol. They secured the building. They fortified the outside, refortified the security inside. Some people got fired over it. A lot of people were upset. And as a result of that, Donald Trump is now on trial for instigating an insurrection or something like that. I don't know what the formal charge is, but they're blaming Donald Trump for the whole thing. In light of that, somebody said, hey, who are these military people loyal to? Are they loyal to the country? Are they loyal to Biden? Are they loyal to the president? We need to check them all out. And here's what the thing is. The FBI checks everybody out. I've been on a whole bunch of, well, not a whole bunch. I've been on enough presidential support missions that they have to check me out. Matter of fact, there's a special class of people that are assigned inside of the military that have pre-clearances in order to support the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, and other government officials in their official capacity. All of those people have already been identified. All of those people have already been cleared. They've already been cleared by the Secret Service. Then they've already been cleared through the highest security clearances necessary in order to transport, do logistics for, and be around the President of the United States and other government officials. I did that. I'm just saying, I've been there. I've been in a presidential limo. I just want to say that was cool. As a matter of fact, I even had the opportunity to call my mama in Lincoln, Nebraska from the presidential limo. Before calling from the presidential limo was cool. My mother did not answer the phone. Do you know what it's like to have the opportunity to call your mother from the presidential limousine and your mama doesn't answer the phone? Oh, it's terrible. All right, so anyway, enough about me and my mom. Let's get back to it. So they had to go vet all these National Guard guys. Why? Because that's standard operating procedure whenever you're going to be around the President of the United States. Now, they're not doing anything. They're just doing a background check. And every time that you do a background check, if you're going to do a background check on 5,000 people, you're going to have one or two of them that you're going to have questions on. And you're going to have one or two of them that are going to go, hey, man, those things that you said online, or the fact that you're bankrupt, or the fact that you're going through a terrible divorce, or the fact that you had all of these other things that are going to stack up against you, we can't rely on you in order to be in this situation. So we're going to send you home, we're going to send you to another post, we're going to do other things with you, because that always happens. So now the question after that became, what about the general feeling in the United States military? Because you have to have a loyalty in the United States military to the country. And we've done a really, really good job of that. So what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about kind of the precursor to this, because there's several different phases that this went through. First of all, the United States military is loyal. There's absolutely no doubt that the military is loyal. You want to know why? Because I was in it for 30 years. I haven't been out very long, and a whole bunch of other friends of mine are like, hey, look here, we're still in and we're still loyal to the country. We took oaths, and inside of those oaths, it said that we are going to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and we showed true faith and allegiance to the same, and we will follow the orders of the President of the United States and the officers appointed to above us. That's what it says, that we're going to be loyal to the Constitution, loyal to the country, loyal to the president, loyal to the officers above us. Everybody takes that same oath. Whether you're officer and enlisted, it might have a couple of different words in there for officers than enlisted, but it's all in there. And the reason that I say this is because we have what they call military education, PME, professional military education. And all through your military career, you go through this, right? So you start off with basic training, and then you go to, in the Air Force, what we call Airman Leadership School. And then we have a NCO Academy. Then we have a Senior NCO Academy. Then we have a Chiefs Academy. I was blessed to be able to go to all of them. And they all cover this little thing called the Little Blue Book. And inside of the Little Blue Book is a whole bunch of fancy things about who are we supposed to be loyal to. So I pulled up the new Little Blue Book, and this is it. Let me show you. Okay, so this is it right here. This is America's Air Force Profession of Arms. This talks about the profession of arms. If you have not seen this before, this is a real thing. And everybody in the Air Force is supposed to read it. Now, I used to have a copy of my little blue book. I don't know what I did with it. It's probably up in Arkansas. I don't have my copy. But my copy does not look like this because after I left, they redid it. In here, I'd like to point out a couple of sentences. America's Air Force, the profession of arms, the little blue book. First must we understand that our chosen profession is of a higher calling. Throughout our service, we are guided and reminded of this awesome responsibility to our nation. The oaths we take remind us that we serve freely in support and defense of our Constitution. Our Air Force core values serve as our compass and provide the fortitude foundation of our service. We abide by the code of conduct that captures our resolve, while our Airman's Creed highlights the strength of our diversity. Airmen who fly, fight, and win as one Air Force. We are the world's greatest Air Force, powered by airmen, fueled by innovation. This book serves as a guide to the principles that makes us so strong. Wherever you are in your Air Force career, it is a reminder to the meaning of service in our profession, the profession of arms. That's page 1. That's page 1. We go through this all the time. We are volunteers. We have sworn an obligation to the Constitution. Want to know why? Because fighting wars is an ugly business. There's nothing pretty about it. I'm reading from it again. Cool. There's nothing pretty about it, cool about it, or glorious about it, but it must be done. And somebody must be good at it. We're good at it. Our status as the world's greatest Air Force was earned by the men and women who have gone before us and carried on by every airman who wears a uniform today. We must remember, above all else, we are patriots first. We serve men and women. We, as servicemen and women, we, more than anyone else, understand the price paid for freedom. We, more than anyone else, understand the sacrifices that come from willingly serving our country. More than anyone else, we understand what it means to serve in the profession of arms. Oh, stand by. I got it. Oh, Dad, just answer the phone. Come on, Dad. All right, my dad answered the phone. Sorry about that. And then here are the oaths that we take. And I'm going to show you these because this is critically important. This is critically important for what I am about to say. I do solemnly swear that I support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Everybody that's in the United States military has taken one of those two oaths. We don't have any allegiance to any one particular party. It's to the Constitution and to whichever president is currently serving. Now, here's what the thing is. When you're United States military, you're supposed to be politically neutral. However, during this election, that was tested. And the reason it was tested is because on several occasions, President Trump had done some things with the military because I don't think that he understood the way that the military is supposed to operate. See, the military is not supposed to operate. The active duty military is not supposed to operate on American soil. It's one of the tenets that we have that we will not attack our own fellow citizens. That job is, in order to keep order, falls to the governors of the states or any other entity like Washington, D.C. that happens to have a National Guard force. And then those forces can be used by the governors of the states in order to maintain peace and order in times of an emergency or a difficult period. But what happened last summer was when people started having problems after several people had died and the police got involved. And the next thing you know is riots started, Antifa started acting up all across the country. Riots broke out. And Donald Trump started talking about bringing on the Insurrection Act in order to maintain peace, rather than letting the governors handle it the way that he should have. So Donald Trump started talking about the loyalty of the military and military taking action on our soil. No. So that started a conversation, because during the election, 235 former senior military officials endorsed President Donald Trump. So yes, they were in the military, and they maintained that protective cover of the military and not being loyal to any person, but being loyal to the Constitution of the states. But then when they retired, 235 senior military officials officially endorsed Donald Trump for the presidency of the United States of America. So, what was the response to that? Well, through a series of events and a lot of different things happening, all of a sudden, rumbles started occurring because Donald Trump started saying, hey, look here, the military this, the military that, I'm the commander-in-chief. I get to go do whatever I want with the military. Well, no. The only people that can declare war in the country are Congress. But Congress has been just totally off base with everything in the military. All they do is fund it, and they don't do a terrible job doing that. So Congress is now out. Donald Trump has said, hey, look here, we have a national emergency. I can do whatever I want. Then he starts doing all this stuff with the military, causing 780 former military officers and officials to endorse Joseph R. Biden. 780 of them. Because they thought that Donald Trump was off base and they needed to send a message. Do you know how painful it must have been for 780 former military officials that are so used to being politically neutral to sign this? You know how much convincing it must have taken? The articles I read said literally, I have never donated one single dollar to any political campaign, and yet I felt the need that I needed to sign this in order to stand Donald Trump down. Not only did Donald Trump threaten the Insurrection Act, but he also misused guardsmen in several events across the United States of America. 22 retired 4-star generals and 5 former secretaries of defense all signed the letter. They all signed the letter, including General Mad Dog Mattis. And that dude is the philosopher warrior. He's a philosopher warrior. He is probably one of the best read human beings in the world. He's very, very philosophic. He is a warrior. He's the guy that walks in, he said, with tears, he said, I come in peace. I did not bring artillery, but I come in peace. For God's sakes, don't make me kill you all. I'm pleading with you. I will kill you all if we can't do this. That's the way that he is. Here's what the thing is. When you have that many former military officials saying something, I don't think that I don't think it's ever been done in the history of the United States of America that 780 of them would all come together and go, this dude's bad news, man. We don't need this dude. Because I don't know what Donald Trump said behind the scenes, but that directly led to where we are now. Because 235 senior military officials said that they had endorsed Biden. 780 said that they endorsed Trump. And if you're going to start taking that and you're going to start extrapolating those numbers out all the way across the military, that number breaks down bad both ways. So now when somebody says, hey, look here, man, we need to go test the military and see about their purity, about are they loyal to? Now, the thing that scares me about that is if you start giving loyalty tests, who's to say what the right answer and the wrong answer is? And then it depends on what the questions are about whether you should answer them or not. Are you loyal to the President of the United States of America? Yeah. You know, I swore an oath to defend the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Are you asking me if I'm loyal to the country? Are you asking me if I'm loyal to Joe Biden? Or whether I'm loyal to the office of the President of the United States? What exactly does this mean? And then what exactly does it mean when you're not? So I got an example for you about the tests of loyalty. And it comes from a little known person that I like to call Uncle Sun Tzu. Now, Uncle Sun Tzu lived like 1,400 years ago or whatever. So he lived around 400 BC. I'm going to read this to you real quick. Sun Tzu was a Chinese general in the period of the warring states around 400 BC. At that time, across China, local warlords constantly waged war against one another to fight for their shares of the remnants of the collapsed Chao Empire. I remember the story about Sun Tzu being challenged by a warlord to apply his famous military doctrine to train 180 women from the warlord's palace into an orderly company. Among the women, 2 were the warlord's favorite concubines. Sun Tzu divided the women into 2 large groups and put a concubine, the warlord's favorites, in command of each. This is what I'm afraid happens when in the United States of America you ask people to start committing loyalty beyond being politically neutral and being great for the country, like it says in the little blue book that is only 12 pages long. If you're going to start asking people questions about where they lay politically, nobody's going to want to sign up for the military. And those that want to sign up for the military are not going to be good people. Because that's how dictatorships and socialists and crazy militaries come from. Because if you're only allowed to be loyal to one, then all of a sudden that becomes a threat to everyone. That's why we have the most powerful military and the most neutral military. Because if you demand loyalty to you and your ideas instead of to the larger former self called the Constitution of the United States, which is clearly outlined in about 6-page document, plus the amendments to the Constitution, now all of a sudden you're getting beyond the scope of loyalty to the country, to the president, and to the idea of the United States of America, where all people are created equal with certain unalienable rights, among those life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We, the people, and serving the people, and the president is the head of those people, is where you start having problems. I shall continue with Sun Tzu. By the way, this is cmmmagazine.com. Sun Tzu then made the woman do a simple drill. He made sure they understood what to do. However, when he started ordering them to perform the drill, the women burst out in laughter. 2 parts of this. Number 1, he divided them into 2 groups. Number 2, he gave them a drill to do. Number 3, he made sure that they all knew how to do the drill. However, when he started ordering them to perform the drill, the women burst out in laughter. He tried again with the same results. Sun Tzu claimed that his failure of the troops to obey was the fault of the commanders. So despite the warlord's pleas, he ordered the 2 concubines beheaded as an example for the rest of the company. Thereafter, the women did not utter a single sound and performed the drill exactly as commanded. That right there is the problem with loyalty in the United States military. if you have the ability to decide what politics and how disciplined the troops are going to be from a civilian loyalty perspective, rather than having them be loyal to the military and the military being loyal to the country, now all of a sudden, you have people, you kill a couple of them, the rest fall in line, and then they will do whatever you want in order to not be executed. Sun Tzu was once asked, how many men can you command in battle? And he said, as many as you need. And they went, you have no ability to control 100,000 men and 100,000 warriors. He said, the idea is exactly the same. You control the few will control the many. This is what the problem is with a loyalty test. So this is what the problem is whenever you start looking at loyalty tests from a civilian point of view to support one political agenda rather than support the idea of the United States of America. So I am praying right now that the oaths of enlistment to the President of the United States, the officers appointed above, and to the big idea of the Constitution of the United States is going to be the loyalty test that survives. Because since the Marines were founded, since the Army was founded, since the Navy was founded, the Air Force, and now the Space Force was founded, that has been good enough up to this point. The military is always going to be loyal to the bigger idea of the Constitution of the United States. It's written in the books that we read, and the little blue books, and the way that we talk about in professional military education. The civilians, although the military is controlled by the civilians have no idea about how loyal we are to the construct of the Constitution of the United States of America. We are steadfast. That I can guarantee. The 780 people that were former military that endorsed Biden, the 235 senior military people that endorsed Trump, I can almost guarantee to a man or woman they are loyal to the Constitution of the United States and to the people of the United States, independent of who their leaders are. But when you're forced to make a choice, it looks like 780 endorsed Biden on this one. 235 endorsed Trump. Look at the way the election went. So, Garrett says the Constitution is what you're loyal to. That is correct. Garrett, for the win. I think about this, Mickey. Are you being questioned about your loyalty as a retiree? I read the Pentagon is looking at us now. Just a thought. Okay. So, in your civilian capacity as a retiree, you're free to do whatever you want to. And that's one of the things about being in the military, not being in the military, because I hate to say this, right? When you get out and you no longer have the shackle of the little blue book and you no longer have the loyalty and the oath to the United States military, you get to be more political. You get to be more politically active. You know, you can wear a retiree pin or you can wear a hat. You can go to political functions. But you can't do that in the United States military. There's a whole bunch of rules of what you can do politically and what you cannot do politically in the United States military. But once you're out, you are still bound by the military, the MCM, the military code manual, the manual for court martials, the MCM, the manual for court martial. You are still bound by those documents, even as a retiree, if you're going to get paid. Now, if you don't want to get paid, I don't know whether that relates to you, but if you're getting paid by the military, you're still bound by those documents. So that's the way that I understand it. It's the way it was explained to me by a lawyer when I asked him that one time. So if you're looking at loyalty, I wouldn't doubt that they're looking at loyalty from everybody in the United States of America right now. They have the ability to search massive databases and social media accounts, and they have these algorithms to go find people that are not loyal. That's how they find criminals. That's how they find terrorists. That's how they find people that are threats to the United States of America. They can go look at anybody that they want to go look at, up to and including all of the stuff that you have personally put out there. You know, and if you look crazy and you smell crazy and you sound crazy, then you probably are crazy. If you're going to be around the president of the United States, you're going to notice that. So you can be political, just don't be dangerous. And if you're going to be dangerous, don't let anybody know. I'm just saying. I wouldn't let anybody know if I'm not going to be dangerous, right? So, I miss Storm and Norman. Yes, ma'am. Storm and Norman passed away a few years ago. That was his kiss of death. It's a strong, gentle spirit. Strong, gentle spirit at the heart of our military. Yeah, Storm and Norman did agree. That oath I took is for life to include this day as a DOD contractor. Good for you, Greg Myers. So, aim high, says Steve Hayes. Love and appreciate our military. Thank you very much. But they are there. The D.C. mayor says she didn't ask for all of them. Curious. So, here's what my take is on, just really quick. Here's what my take is on troops inside of Washington, D.C. I do not think that the people that are around Joe Biden, being liberal progressives, have a lot of faith in the military. They choose what is good and what is bad, and anybody that goes to war has got to be bad. So, because they don't trust the military, they're like, we need to keep an eye on them and let them know that we are serious and that we are in charge as civilian leaders. As civilian leaders, we're going to make them sit and stay right outside of our front door, and we're going to check them, and we're going to send a signal to the rest of the military that we own you people. That's my personal thing. That's why they wanted it to last 3 months. That's why it has expiration date. They're doing this under the guise of, hey, there's an existential threat against the president of the United States and this administration. So therefore, given the opportunity, they're going to do anything they can to see what sticks. That's why they're doing the whole impeachment thing again. They're not going to stop. If they can do it, they're going to do it. They want to exercise their power. They want to show how powerful they are. They don't want to show any weakness. They want to make sure that everybody understands that they are in charge and they are not to be questioned. And if they say, we're going to give you a loyalty test, it's because we think that you are a bad human being, much like we think everybody else is a bad human being, right? So if you voted for Trump, you're a bad human being. Right? If you're not down with BLM, you're a bad human being. If you're not down with trans rights, you're a bad human being. If you're not for women's rights, you're down for a bad human being. If you don't believe in abortion, you're a bad human being. If you don't like the weather, if you don't like the climate change, you're a bad human being. They will make you pay. Now, this isn't, as Mickey in the middle, I'm just trying to explain to you what they're trying to do. If you are their enemy, they will punish you. This is the mommy dearest administration. If they can punish you, if they can cancel you, if they can embarrass you, if they can get you fired, if they can erase you because you do not comply, they will do it. And eventually they will get around to erasing themselves. Because nobody can live up to the standards that they live by except by being hypocrites, and then they give people hall passes. Oh, by the way, here's your hypocrite hall pass. Oh, go on. You can go to the bathroom. You can go to the cafeteria. You can go off. Oh, go off campus. Go smoke cigarettes. Drink some whiskey. Come on back. Get high. Come on back to class. You're good. You got a hall pass. You got the hypocrite hall pass. Bam. So, hey, that's the show for tonight. Thanks a lot for tuning in. My name is Mickey. This is Mickey in the Middle, 9 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday, right here wherever I am, and I'm glad that you're here with me. So, with that being said, I love you. Thank you very much for being here. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. So, Steve Hayes says, I'm a bad human being. Right. So, Steve, I'm coming to see you at the end of the month, and I'm going to see Dawn. Dawn is going down to Orlando. At minimum, we're going to have lunch, spend a little bit of time together. I'm going to go see Steve Hayes. He's going to be down there. Also, I'm going to be going out and see my good friend, Brent. So, and we're going to be golfing down there. So, there's a re-education camp coming for you. I keep trying to tell you, I love camps. I hope they have canoes. I love canoes. Oh, I used to love canoes. I don't love canoes anymore, but I'll get on a kayak. So anyway, hey, you guys have a good one. This is Mickey in the Middle. Remember, Monday through Friday. Remember to like, share, ring the notification bell. Tell your friends all about it. Remember, I love you. Live, laugh, love. Peace. Everybody, take care. Have a great night.